Hey kids, it's Mrs. Gosh and Mr. Tembor, and we're starting this week with some of our school lessons from home. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is comprehension, and it's been a while since we've gotten to work on that together. So we're going to come up with some ways to help you at home work on comprehension without us being there by your side all the time. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a bookmark like this, and I'm going to explain to Mr. Tembor how to make it, and he's going to make one just like this while you're making one at home. So what you're going to need is a piece of paper and a marker or a pencil or a pen or whatever you need to write, and then a safety scissors. And don't forget, if you have to walk with scissors, make sure that they're facing the ground. So why don't you go ahead and grab those things, and then we will start talking to you about what you need to do. So go ahead and put it on pause if you need to while you get those things, and then when you get back, you can start the video again. Okay, so first thing
we're back.
Oh, and we're back. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the paper, and it's going to be just like a bookmark size. Anything that you would see when we have the book fair come to the library, they sell those bookmarks. So anything bookmark size, go ahead and cut that out of the paper right now with Mr. Tembor. Okay, and then what we've talked about is how when we're answering questions, we're usually answering those WH questions. And don't forget, when we talk about spelling with these WH questions, they always start with WH. It's not like the word want, where it doesn't have a WH. These are all questions that have a WH until we get to the how question, which is just an H. So go ahead and start with, at the top here, I just wrote on mine, ask yourself 2 questions. But you can skip that part for now and go right below that and write who, just like this. And then put ... and a question mark. Good, because you're going to be asking yourself these questions, but you have to fill in the ... part. And then the next one you're going to put below that is what. So Mr. Tembor, you can go ahead and do that. So far you should have who and what on your bookmark. And then the next question you're going to ask yourself is where. Okay, so now you should have who, what, where. Does anybody know what's going to come next? Who, what, where, when. Next question would be when. And ... question mark. Who, what, where, when, and
why.
Why. And so you'll just write why ... question mark.
Why?
Why? Because I said so.
Okay.
And the last question is going to be how. How is something done? We're giving lots of reasons here in the why and how. Usually those answers will start with because. We're giving an explanation. Okay.
All right.
So we've got our bookmarks.
Right there.
They look identical. He mimicked my bookmark very well. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to practice with these bookmarks. And what we want you to do with these bookmarks is have these next to you and go around and find anything in your house that you can read, whether it's a newspaper article or a magazine article. What else can you think of?
You could read the dictionary, but that's not good for this one. I don't think.
Yeah, for this assignment it might not be the best. Maybe for the next video for vocabulary it will be really good. But maybe any books that you have at your house, anything that you can read a page of or 2 pages of, that's what we want you to do for this. You don't have to read a full book right now. We just want you to go from article to article, from book to book, and we want you to just find some pages and ask yourself 2 questions about each page so that you know you're understanding it. So we're going to pull out some books that we have at home, and we're going to show you some examples. So we've got the story, What is Poop? But as you can see, that's for younger children, so we're going to skip that one.
There we go.
We've got HGTV magazine.
There we go.
About improving your home. Anybody interested? No?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Not that one.
Thank you.
All right. What about caterpillars and butterflies? I think that looks like a good one. What do you think?
I like caterpillars.
All right. So I'm going to open to a page, and I am going to read the page to myself, and then I'm going to ask myself 2 questions about the page to make sure that I was understanding it. Okay, this says stage 2, caterpillar. The tiny caterpillar bites a hole in the egg. It crawls out. The caterpillar is very hungry. The caterpillar eats its shell. When it eats the leaf it's on, then it eats the leaf that it's on. The caterpillar moves to another leaf. It eats that too. All right, so I'm going to ask myself 2 questions about this to make sure that I'm understanding what's happening. So here it said the tiny caterpillar bites a hole in the egg, and then the next sentence says it crawls out. My question is, what does the caterpillar do after it bites a hole in the egg? So if you look at this, it says it bites a hole in the egg, and then it says it does what? It crawls out. So the answer to my own question would be, well, after the caterpillar bites a hole in the egg, it crawls out. And so that's the answer to my first WH question. The caterpillar is very hungry. The caterpillar eats its shell. Then it eats the leaf it's on. The caterpillar moves to another leaf. It eats that too. Now I kind of want to ask myself, how is the caterpillar feeling? How does the caterpillar feel right now when it gets out of its, when it crawls out? The caterpillar is very hungry. So the answer to my question would be the caterpillar is feeling hungry. So that's how you do this activity, and that's what we want you guys to be doing at home. Mr. Tembor, do you have any books that you can go to or any articles you can go to right now? Ask yourself a couple questions.
I do have a few here.
Okay.
Started off with one of my favorite subjects, the planets.
Ooh, I know some students who like our planets.
Solar system. Planets are very cool, and they're very big.
And Pluto is not a planet.
And some are very hot, and some are very cold. Did you know that much?
Yes, the ones that are closer to the sun, like Mercury.
All right, you're
Venus.
getting into my answers and questions here.
I'll leave it to him.
The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, are in the hotter part of our solar system. These planets are the 4 closest to the sun. They are made of rock and metal. Okay, let's think. Comprehension questions here. Going up straight to my bookmark.
Oh, got it right here.
WH questions. Okay. So, you know these 4 planets. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. But I want to ask myself, where are they in our solar system? Let's look back here.
Where? Ooh, good question, Mr. Tembor.
It says these planets are the 4 closest to the sun. So that tells me right there that these planets are going to be closer to the sun than most of them. The other 4, I think. Correct?
Yeah, so they're the innermost planets. Is that where they are?
That's correct.
The closest in the solar system. Perfect. Oh, wait, I have a question about that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Why are those the hottest planets?
Ooh, that's another good comprehension question.
Did he
Why?
even tell us, or do we have to use our
Inferencing skills. I knew this page would bring up inferencing. Why are they hottest? Because they're the closest to the sun. And the sun, as I know, is
something that lets off a lot of
heat. A lot of it.
Good inferencing.
It's a way hotter than a 100-degree day here in the summer.
Good job, Mr.
100 times hotter.
He's so good at this.
And then we go on to, well, we have these giant planets, but what are they made up of? Are they made up of marbles? Are they made up of Legos? Let's think back here. It says that these 4 planets are made up of rock and metal.
That's the answer to your question.
There it is.
They are made of rock and metal. Good job. That was awesome. I'm going to do another one.
Your book can't beat my book.
Got more house magazines right here. Right here, HGTV. Go big or go home. Go home.
Going home.
So we're going to do, let's see here, Leona the Unicorn Fairy. Someone out there's got to like Leona from the Rainbow Magic series. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We've got, ooh, this one's good. So we don't know the background of this story at all. Remember, we're just reading right in the middle of the story, and we're answering some WH questions about it just to see if we can understand that page, okay? So this one says, yes, plus 3 rabbits and 6 squirrels, Christy replied. There's a lot of wildlife around here, isn't there? Suddenly, without any warning at all, The pony in front of Rachel and Christy gave a frightened neigh and reared up. Lauren, the camper riding the pony, gasped with fright. So it doesn't really tell us how Lauren is feeling, but if we read the sentence, Lauren, the camper riding the pony, gasped with fright. How is she feeling? That's a good question. Do you know how she would be feeling if she gasped with fright, Mr. Tembor?
Fright, I know that word, is another word for scared.
Yes, so I would assume she's feeling very scared. But if we go back, we're going to use some of our inferencing skills again. It says that there was a lot of wildlife around there. So I'm going to ask myself the question, where are they? We don't know. It doesn't tell us exactly. Are they in the soul? Are they on a rocket ship? Are they at a house? We're not really sure. But when they say wildlife, that makes me think that they might be in a. What do you think, Mr. Tembor?
Forest.
A forest. I bet so too. I would say a forest because there's a lot of wildlife. Then it says suddenly, without any warning at all, the pony in front of Rachel and Kirsty gave a frightened neigh and reared up. So also, when a horse does that, when a horse kind of neighs really loud, there must be something frightening the pony. So what I'm going to assume is happening next, and now I'm getting into what our lesson is next week about predicting, but I'm guessing that we're going to find out something scared the pony. So that's kind of how I interpreted that page. And if you have to read it 2 times or 3 times, that's fine. I remember when I was in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I read pages 3 times to finally understand what I was reading. So that would be just fine. All right, Mr. Tembor, you got another book?
I got another book that's going to beat your book again.
Oh.
Solar system, that's cool. Kirsty, fairy, unicorn, that's pretty
Rainbow.
cool. Rainbow, fairy, unicorn. It's all right.
It's a good series.
Boom, dinosaurs. Told you I'd beat it.
Whoop, whoop.
So dinosaurs, they're pretty cool. There are a lot of them, and my favorite is the velociraptor. What's yours?
The T-Rex, probably.
Everybody
The normal.
T-Rex. Everyone who doesn't know anything about dinosaurs says T-Rex.
What's your favorite dinosaur? I know some of you know other dinosaurs besides the T-Rex.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you think, where do I usually see these dinosaurs? Well, you don't really see dinosaurs anymore.
Why, though? Why don't you see dinosaurs?
Because, here's a big word, big vocabulary word. Extinct. They are extinct.
Which means gone.
Oh.
No, not stink. They don't stink.
Oh, extinct. Okay, extinct.
They're extinct. They're gone.
No, they're not
no
here
longer
anymore.
Here. Kind of like 8-track players. Extinct.
They have no idea what you're saying. Anyway, you don't see them, but you do see their fossils, which are their bones, in places like museums. I've been to a museum before. It was very cool.
Did you see Sally, or is it Sally or Sue? Sue in Chicago. Did anybody go to Chicago to see Sue? It's the big T-Rex in Chicago. They found all of her fossils.
I did not see Sue.
You did back when we were in junior high.
How did I? Okay. Oh.
If you've seen Sue, drop a comment and let us know you've seen Sue in Chicago. It would be our first comment.
So this is on digging up dinosaurs.
Hey,
and the dogs are very excited.
Lots of excited dogs around here.
Digging up dinosaurs. The dinosaur bones were buried safely in rock for a long time. Long. Think of the longest time of all time and then think longer than that. The bones, here's a question. The bones are fossils. Paleontologists found them. They dug them up out of the ground. Some big words there. So,
Oh, I have a question about it.
Okay, go ahead, shoot.
I wasn't reading it, but can I ask?
Go ahead.
Who dug the fossils
right
up out of the
there.
ground? Look at that. That's right on our sheet.
I lost it.
I
Where
already
is it?
saw paleontologists.
Right there.
Who dug the fossils up out of the ground?
It's a perfect question. Who is a paleontologist? And lucky for us, we don't really know what that is. But right down here.
Lucky? I don't know if that's lucky.
Right down here, we're lucky now because it tells us exactly what a paleontologist is. A paleontologist is a scientist who finds and studies fossils.
Oh.
So now we know who dug them up out of the ground. Now we thought, well, where did these bones and fossils come from? They don't just magically show up in the museum,
That's
right?
a good question.
Somebody had to get them from somewhere.
Where are they
It says right in
coming
there,
from?
the dinosaur bones were buried safely in rock for a long time.
Ooh, they're in
So they
rock.
stayed
That's where they
intact
are.
in the rocks. If they were like on dry land for the longest time, they wouldn't be around still. but they were safely in rocks.
So how are they buried?
How?
Safely.
There we go.
That's
oh my
a good
gosh.
question.
All
There's
right,
so many questions you could ask yourselves, but we just want you to go through any source of reading that you can find, books, magazines, articles, newspapers, whatever you can, and open to a page, ask yourself 2 of the questions off of your bookmark to yourself.
This way you know you're comprehending what
Yes.
you're reading.
And if you can't come up with 2 questions, that means you need to read it again and come up with a question. Okay? We have some examples here, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I'm sure some of you have that at home. We've got 3D planets here. We've got let's see, giant pandas, spiders, and meerkats. Who doesn't love meerkats? They're like little monkeys, kind of, I think.
They don't jump much, but
they're really cute, though. They're cute like monkeys. Scary Sharks. That actually, we were reading Scary Sharks before we started, and it said some very frightening things, so we decided to kind of put that one away. So, anyways, drop some comments for us if you've learned anything today. Your parents should know my phone number. You guys can text me if you have any questions about this assignment. If you feel like you've learned something or you are getting a grasp on this, have your parent text me and let me know too, okay? All right, we'll see you in the next video.
And keep reading.
Keep reading!